Listen, Donald Trump is the blackest president that we've ever had in the history of the United States of America.
Please, no!
That's right, he said that. And we'll get back to the full context of that statement later. Hi, Asagai from Drinking Gourd. Today we're going to see two sides of the same speech. Trump spoke at a Black Conservative Federation meeting in South Carolina. He was speaking about his rise in popularity among black voters. Here's some of what he said.
I got indicted for nothing, for something that is nothing. They were doing it because it's election interference. And then I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against. It's been pretty amazing. But it possibly, I don't know, maybe there's something there.
This is how many Democrats view this statement.
That's probably one of the most racist comments he's ever made. His feeling that because he's being indicted and because he's being prosecuted for things he did, whether they're deemed illegal or not in a court of law, he's making, so what, we've all been locked up, we all have a mugshot, we all fall into this bucket of indictment, and because of that, we should feel closer to our overly indicted president.
The biggest problem I have with the left is that facts don't matter to them at all. Trump said those who have been discriminated against by the legal system, not everyone or every black person. Tell me, where did he lie?
Because for 400 years, there's been a two-tier justice system to black men, particularly to black men, right? Black men have been fighting the system. And now we see, and I hate to hear people like Reverend Sharp and others who are denying the fact that black men are seeing themselves in Donald Trump. They see that there is a real two-tier system, and they are saying, hey, that's been happening to me. Hey, that's been happening to my uncle. Hey, that happened to my father. Hey, that's the same thing. And if they're doing it to Donald Trump, then my God, we have no chance in America.
The real irony is that Joe Biden's crime bill in the 90s locked up millions of black men. Also, how ironic that Trump freed Kodak Black for the same crime that Hunter Biden walked away from. But that isn't all that Trump said.
Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great, great badge of honor, because I'm being indicted for you, the American people. I'm being indicted for you, the black population. I am being indicted for a lot of different groups by sick people. These are sick people.
The truth is that the justice system has been weaponized against anyone who opposes the Biden administration.
I just think it's very insensitive and kind of insulting to say that, or to imply that, I'm a criminal, so now the black people can relate to me, or I can relate to them. I think that's, and I like TC says, I don't take much of what he says seriously. I just think he'll get up and say whatever comes to his head, and he'll get away with it, and nobody will really hold him to task for it.
Isn't that the whole reason why you're here? This is in-depth analysis. How about another perspective?
Donald Trump says, listen, I'm not coming to fight for no one race. I'm not coming to raise up one particular race. I'm not fighting just for the black community. I'm fighting for anyone, any race, anybody that is an American citizen, that if the tide rises, all of the boats rise with them. And that includes those in the black community. And black people are saying that. They're tired of Democrats' lies and constantly promising things that never comes to pass just by simply supporting the Democratic Party. Donald Trump is changing that.
As you can see, there are clear reasons for the gain in popularity, but the left wants you to ignore them.
The mugshot, we've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. It's incredible. You see black people walking around with my mugshot. They do shirts and they sell them for $19 a piece. It's pretty amazing. Millions, by the way, millions of these things have been sold. So I don't know if I'm proud of it or not proud of it.
It feels like he thinks we're all criminals, that we all have mugshots, we all have friends with mugshots, so that would appeal to us. That doesn't appeal to me, and I don't think that appeals to the mass majority of black people. But if that's what he thinks that we are and are all about, that definitely means he misses the mark.
Why does it always start with feelings? Notice how she feels like what she thinks he thinks is fact. In other words, just because she thinks he thinks it, she will speak on it as if it's true. Yeah, I know, this hurts my head just.
I know what real racism is, and it's most definitely not Donald Trump. But the reality of it is, there is a higher crime and violence amongst our people. There is a higher crime of us, black community, in prisons. And it's not because we're just black. It's because of a lack of opportunities that when you have people like Al Sharpton who are constantly speaking race and race baiting and focusing on emotionalism and not policies, then you're going to continue to get the same thing that we're always getting. And that is people who are fighting emotionalism and not dealing with policy.
It's not just emotions. Lefties will twist all forms of logic to fit their narrative. Be wary of an ideology that requires truth to be invented.
Al Sharpton says, you aren't black. Play cut 7.
Why would black
What's the
Americans
connection?
relate to Donald Trump there? I don't understand the connection.
Well, first of all, let's be clear. Donald Trump is using the stereotype of blacks being criminals, and therefore we would gravitate towards somebody in a mugshot. But now he's a symbol of being persecuted. He's being persecuted by black prosecutors, a black woman judge in the federal court in Washington, D.C., and any shameless blacks that are standing there applauding him needs to check the facts.
Okay, I'm trying to keep up with the thought process, but this is tiring. So let me get this straight. Since the prosecutors of Trump are black, then it isn't discrimination because black people can't discriminate against whites. This is just...
Listen, Donald Trump is the blackest president that we've ever had in the history of the United States of America. And I mean that by policies. I'm not talking about the color of his skin. I'm talking about the fact that this man has introduced money to HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. And that's why black men are resonating to him. I'm talking about the fact that opportunity zones were created to bring in businesses into low-income communities. A lot of them, Charlie, are black communities. So black people are violent in certain areas of America, not because we're just violent people, because we're fighting over scraps. But if you can convince white Americans who own companies, who can create jobs, or even black owners that can come into low-income territories, build their facilities, plant their businesses, create jobs within those communities, right? Then you're raising the tide in all communities. That's what Donald Trump is all about.
That seemed logical enough. Just remember, though, that no matter how logical, they have feelings. And feelings are everything in the world today.
So it's like I don't see it as something that we're embracing him on. I do feel like low key we're actually laughing at him by buying those T-shirts and wearing them. I just feel as though like he views us as like just a joke by doing the things that he do.
The reality of it is black people are tired of having given a monopoly to the Democratic Party without any change. And right now, black people are wising up and they're saying, listen, we're not going to vote just for a party. We want you to vote for our interests. And that's where Donald Trump is coming. That's why
I think it all boils down to Donald Trump does not respect, and it's not only the black race, he doesn't respect people. He is just very disrespectful, and he puts us all in a little box, his own little category, that all black people are the same and we're all bad. And I personally think Donald Trump needs to take a look in the mirror and see his own reflection.
How does this pass as news commentary? Was that really the best you could bring to the table?
Do you believe the hand of God is on Trump?
without question, Charlie, I mean, there's zero reason for any person to have been attacked the way he's been attacked and to survive every attack that has hit him and still come out on top. These indictments, the foolish Russian collusion, way back when he was running, the whole, video that the hot mic comment that was made, right? All these things that should have taken anybody out. Just one of those incidents, they would have resigned or dropped out of the race. All it's done is made Donald Trump more popular to American people related to him. And so God is using Donald Trump to expose this thing, right? They are creating laws. They are indicting this man for some frivolous things, foolish things, but yet they're trying to do whatever it takes to just simply get Trump.
The media's agenda is to demonize Trump, paint him as a racist, and to lynch him as soon as possible. The reason Trump's prosecution resonates with black people is that we remember the fair trials and the equal justice handles.
And black men desire to leave their families. That's one of the ploys of the Democratic Party, is to remove the black father out of the home. And if you destroy the black father, you start to destroy black legacies. You just start to destroy black economic empowerment. Listen, I'm voting for my interests, my brother. I'm voting for my interests. I'm voting for my children. I'm voting for my cousins, my nephews, my black family members, to realize that we need to be in America that will do what Dr. King said, and that is that not just me for the color of my skin, but for the content of my character, the type of person I am and the person I'm becoming. My hard work should be rewarded in America and not be blocked by the color of my skin.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. Also, click the link in the description for any of our merchandise.